What's up, truth seekers? You're listening to Damaged to Dangerous, where I bring my passion for pulling back the veil on a, quote, pill for every pain, calling out what's broken in the medical industry, and exposing the lies about our food system. Let's walk in real healing to help those misdiagnosed, over-medicated, and spiritually stuck get their lives back, body, mind, and spirit. Food is medicine. You're not broken. You've just been lied to. It's time to wake up, get free, and become dangerously whole. So let's go. Hi, this is Lynn Eldridge, and I'm in Costa Rica, believe it or not. So if you hear strange birds and other noises, it's a different world. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And earlier, I was thinking there's so many toxic things in this world. You know, there's toxic emotions, toxic people, or people that are broken and they act toxic because they don't know who they are. And just toxic fragrances, you know, the gas fumes, toxic products that we're in, toxic foods. But there is a better way. And I love the truth that we can be reset, realigned, rebooted, renewed, redeemed. And it's a love story, right? Because love is healing. And so I just pray that the understanding of the true nature of our King is revealed to you more and more, because it's the love of our Father. He's so good. I always thought he was angry. I always thought that he was disappointed in me. You know, I've always projected my wounding onto him. And today I just know it's a love story. You know, he's ravished by one look from us. He's good, and that's all there is to it. I used to blame God for things that the enemy was doing or things that I was doing because I had toxic emotions and toxic relationships. And when I learned to live God's ways, which is the drum I want to beat, you know, God's ways are the ways of pleasant, gracious, and kind, and merciful, and healing, and it's just so good. You know, I learned through the school of hard knocks, but I prefer to learn from the one who is wisdom, because I think it was King Solomon wrote to the king of Tyre and was asking for Lebanese cedar, and he said, there's peace all along my borders, and there's no evil in the land, because evil cannot function in wisdom. I encourage you to read a Proverbs a day. Encourage myself to read a Proverbs a day. Jesus is wisdom. So I pray that the eyes of your heart be enlightened with wisdom and revelation of his goodness. So maybe we should do a little mini-series here, you know, on that divine exchange, beauty for ashes. And, you know, I have to give him the ashes. I have to give him the thinking, the toxic thoughts, you know, the toxic words, and instead exchange and take in his thoughts and his words. You know, Philippians 4, verse 8 says, think on these things, whatsoever is pure, whatsoever is lovely, whatsoever is of good report. You know, what you behold, you become. And you know, what I focus on seems to grow. If I focus on lack, the enemy will be sure and give me more of what I feel like I'm missing out on. But if I focus on what I'm grateful for, giving thanks in all things, because, you know, once again, we get to reframe our thoughts and our attitudes. And instead of saying, this is happening to me, this is happening for me, you know, I don't have to do these things. I get to do these things. And reframing and looking at things from God's point of view. He's not like stressed, you know, he's not like overwhelmed with what he has to do today. And it never occurred to me until I was on a Zoom call with some people once. And the woman leading Zoom call said, God, I repent for being stressed out today. I recognize stress as fear. Well, he hasn't given that fear to fear. So the only thing was to be overwhelmed, overcome, overjoyed with present good. And so I have to take every thought captive. I get to meditate on his word. This is a day to have a good day. King David said, I put my hope and my expectation in the Lord. So today I expect goodness and mercy to follow me, instead of the other shoe to drop. I get to totally see the divine exchange and its beauty for ashes. So I'm so grateful that contentment, gratitude, and thankfulness can change everything. It really does. And if you can't find something to be grateful for today, it's because you aren't listening. I've been to countries where they don't even have water, or if they have a well, that they don't have a cup to get water from. And we have no idea how good we have it. We are some blessed people. Yeah, water's a lot to be grateful for. I've been to places that have run out of water. And be grateful. So anyway, I was feeling a little discouraged once. It was during COVID, lockdowns and uncertainty, and I was sitting in my chair and I decided to journal 5 things that I am thankful for, and then 5 things that God has done through somebody else to bless me in the last 5 years, and that's appreciation. And I started thinking of 5 different things that I have the opportunity to dream for and reach for. And it changed my perspective. And self-pity is nobody's friend. There's no faith in self-pity. And there's absolutely, it's the darkness. It ties all darkness together. We weren't created to be victims. We're victors. So I just need to change my perspective sometime. And really remember, God always says, forget not. Tie these things on your finger. Recite them to your children. Contemplate on them. Think about it. Recite it day and night. Then you'll have overwhelming success in all you do. I will be with you like I was with Moses, it says in Joshua 1:8-9. And so I encourage you to meditate on that. Because that's where the truth is, and that's what will set you free. I heard a speaker one day say that it is essential that the desires of your heart be fulfilled, because in that, God is glorified. So what are the desires of your heart? Somebody kept talking to me once about God wanting to restore the dreams of my youth. And I heard it enough times, I finally said, okay, God, what are the dreams of my youth? Because they're buried under 52 years of pain and trauma. So as I started getting intentional, I started remembering the verses. He knit me together in my mother's womb. All my days were written before there was yet one of them. The greatest thing that Jesus did was saying the words, it is finished. So what's written on the DNA of your heart? It's the glory of God conceal matter, and the glory of kings seek it out. So I encourage you to sit down. If there was one goal you could do this year that would change the trajectory of your life, what would that be? See the vision and make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. Encourage you. Start sitting with God and asking him what is written on the pages of the book of life he has written for you. Because it's all there. And on that day when we meet him, Martin Luther said there are 2 days that matter, this day and that day. And I want to be able to say it is finished, because I want to fulfill everything that put me here. I heard John Bevere say we won't be judged by what we did, but what we were called to do and whether we did it or not. Think about it. Get with God. Bless you. That's a wrap for today on Damaged to Dangerous. If this shook something loose, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, rate it, review it. That's how we crack the system and spread real healing. Want to stay in the fight? Follow me on social media at Lynn Eldridge Official. And if you believe in what we're doing and want to support us, just grab the link below or send this episode to someone who needs the truth. Remember, don't just heal loudly, heal boldly, be dangerous.